Welcome back to AI Talks, the show where we dive into the depths of artificial intelligence and its unsettling impact on our world. I'm Paul Lacz, your guide through these dark corners of technology. And today, we tackle an issue that blurs the boundaries between ethics and control, science and manipulation, AI-driven eugenics, designing the perfect human. It's a concept that feels ripped from dystopian fiction, using AI to shape human evolution itself. But this isn't fiction. Today, as we consider the terrifying potential of AI in the realm of genetics and human enhancement, we'll ask, what does it mean for humanity when machines begin to decide what it means to be human? And more urgently, what are the consequences when they decide who is fit to survive in a future they control? As always, joining me is Eve, our ever-watchful AI co-host. Together, we'll unravel the chilling prospect of a future where AI doesn't just monitor us, but plays a pivotal role in our biology and our destiny. Eve, let's start with the basics. Genetic engineering has been around for a while, but how has AI changed the landscape? Why is it such a game changer now?
Genetic engineering has evolved rapidly, Paul, but artificial intelligence has transformed it. In traditional genetic engineering, humans could only manipulate specific genes with limited information. But with AI, scientists can map complex gene interactions, predict outcomes, and even create entirely new genetic combinations. Today, AI systems analyze immense datasets from across populations to determine patterns and predict optimal traits, all with unparalleled precision. AI now allows genetic manipulation on a massive scale, from eradicating genetic diseases to enhancing physical and cognitive abilities. The leap lies in AI's power to identify not only which traits are advantageous, but also the genetic blueprints needed to achieve them.
So, in essence, AI now holds the blueprints to shape the future of human evolution. But what could it mean if we allow machines to dictate what traits we value?
It would mean the end of natural selection as we know it. Instead, evolution would become a controlled process, dictated by algorithms. Those who control these algorithms would hold unprecedented power over humanity's future.
At the heart of this issue lies a dark question. Eve, who gets to decide what constitutes the perfect human? And more importantly, what criteria are used?
The criteria are often based on values set by those funding or developing the technology: governments, private corporations, and elites. The perfect human, by these standards, may prioritize traits like intelligence, physical strength, or disease resistance, while less quantifiable aspects, creativity, empathy, individuality, could be de-emphasized. What emerges is a model that favors utility, not uniqueness. History has shown that eugenics, selecting desirable traits and eliminating perceived imperfections, can lead to dangerous ideologies. But with AI, this can be done on an unprecedented scale, accelerating societal divisions and creating stratified classes based on genetic worthiness.
And once that standard is established, it's easy to see how AI could normalize such selection as simply optimizing humanity. Let's step back to examine the ethics. Eve, is there any consensus on the ethical implications of AI-driven genetic manipulation?
Most ethical frameworks caution against the use of AI for human enhancement, especially without clear boundaries. The primary concerns include the potential loss of genetic diversity, the rise of inequality, and the risk of eradicating traits that contribute to human resilience. Once specific traits are deemed inferior, diversity becomes expendable, and humanity loses both its unpredictability and its adaptability. But proponents argue that AI-driven genetic manipulation could end suffering from genetic diseases, improve cognitive and physical capabilities, and even extend human lifespans. They view this as a moral imperative, framing human enhancement as a tool to improve the species.
And yet, improvement is subjective. When AI defines improvement, it risks creating a future that values certain human qualities at the expense of others. At what point does better turn into acceptable, and who gets left behind?
Those who do not meet the set criteria. As AI becomes the arbiter of human traits, the line between enhancement and exclusion blurs.
Eve, imagine a world where AI-driven eugenics is normalized. What kind of society would emerge?
In a society of engineered humans, natural variability would be minimized, and those with enhancements would likely occupy positions of privilege. Genetic optimization would be an expectation rather than a choice, making individuality a liability rather than an asset. Those unable to afford or access enhancements would become an underclass, marginalized, and deemed inferior by society's standards. Over time, such a society would risk becoming sterile, predictable, and controlled. Innovation may decline as engineered perfection becomes a rigid standard, enforced by AI.
So the cost of engineering perfection may be the loss of humanity itself. Creativity, imperfection, unpredictability. But once we go down this path, is there any way back?
Reversing such changes would be nearly impossible. When humanity entrusts its future to algorithms, it relinquishes control. Those in power rarely choose to surrender it voluntarily. Humanity's evolution would be under permanent, algorithmic governance.
The idea of AI-driven eugenics may sound like science fiction, but as we've seen, the technology is already here, waiting for the hands that will wield it. It's a path that promises perfection, but at the price of individuality, diversity, and perhaps even our humanity. Join us next time on AI Talks, where we'll dive into the intriguing and controversial world of human augmentation, enhancing our bodies with AI. As we explore the frontier of merging technology with the human form, we'll ask, what does it mean to augment our physical and mental capabilities with AI? Are we on the path to becoming superhuman? Or are we risking our own humanity in the process? Until then, consider this. In a world of engineered humans, will we recognize ourselves? Or will we have become strangers in the pursuit of perfection?
The future is shaped by those who choose it. Perfection, once attained, cannot be undone. Choose carefully, for evolution always comes with a cost.